friends, Kim here from Stamping Imperfection. Welcome to my YouTube channel. I got some new goodies from Maker Forte. These are a couple new stencils I got, barrel aged and laying down rubber. And if I pull these out, you can see some of the new features of the stencils. They've got holes in the side so you can store them in a 6x8 snap album. You can see they've got the title of the stencil and the company. They've also got a couple of placement lines there to use for A2 size cards, and the packaging comes with a printed version of what it should look like when you're done stenciling. And I think that is a great thing to keep and use to create an inventory of the stencils that you have. You can put those in the binder or in a separate binder so you can browse through what stencils you have. So it's pretty fabulous. So I got two stamp sets here too. This is the Best Pop. It's great sentiments, like super fun sentiments. And then and I think they're really interesting sentiments, I have to say, the way they did them. Then I got this Tie One On stamp set, which I think is very fun, and I have a quick card I want to make with that today. And then I got a couple specialty items. I got a package of this fairy floss, and this is for handmade paper. And on the back, you can see it tells you you can heat fuse it. It's heat fusible polyester fiber, so you can fuse the fibers together with an iron, a laminate, or a heat press, and some hot foil systems. Fuse them together and then die cut them out, or use them for a card background, or create a frame from them. And then if you just want to use them as is, it feels kind of like hair, to be honest. And you can create bird's nests, flamingo feathers, all kinds of things. Perfect for mixed media if you love mixed media. I got one of the newest colors here. The Maker Forte Color Hive inks are so fantastic. You can see that they are an octagon shape, and they have foam pads, which I love. And look at that. Isn't that beautiful? This is Blueberry Cheesecake. I am loving the colors in this line. They tend to come out with 3 new ones each month, which is a pretty easy pace to keep up with if you want to add to your collection. And they have a subscription service too. So this is specialty glitter. This is called Pebbles in the Sand, and you could use it as a shaker element, or you could literally glue this on to like your card front when you do water scenes, and it will look exactly like sand. Like, I think that's super fun. So I went ahead and cut down my paper here. So I pulled a piece of white scrap out of my bin, and I cut it down to 3 inches by 5.5 inches. And then I just pulled 4 of those bow ties off, and I'm going to stamp them in the Fog ink. This is a light gray ink. This is one of the Remarkable ink pads from Maker Forte, the Color Hive Fog ink. And I love this color, actually. And I'm actually going to use it for a background, and I consider these light gray inks to be like a secret weapon that you have in your crafting stash, because they can make really subtle backgrounds when you want to. This isn't going to be super subtle because I just re-inked mine, so I get a really good inking here. And I got a little smudge on the top of that one. I'll fix that later. I'm not going to throw this whole thing out just because I got a little smudge, to be honest. I'm just going to forge ahead, and I'll fix it, and it'll look fine when I'm done. So I removed 3 of the bow ties and kept the one that was the second one from the top. And I pulled out another piece of white cardstock scrap that I had, and I stamped this one in Vegas Strip, which is a really great blue color. They just came out with this one a couple months ago, and they have other things in that color too, which is really nice, like cardstocks and crown jewel gems and powders, the kaleidoscope powders. And I think it's fun that they have coordinating products. So for this one, I did pull out that outline bow tie, and I did it in the Vegas Strip color right on top of the pattern. I think that's really fun. And I'm going to go ahead and fussy cut this. So I'm just going to pull out my favorite little fussy cut scissors, and I do leave a tiny bit of white border. I actually find it easier to get my fussy cutting straight and uniform if I leave the same amount of white border around the whole image that I'm fussy cutting. So I do have my brother's scan and cut, but to be honest, if I'm just cutting out one simple thing like this, I'm going to go ahead and use my scissors. So I put some foam on the back of that. I'm going to pop that on top of the coordinating gray one, and I like the way this looks. I feel like it needs a couple little touches, so I'm going to pull that Vegas strip ink pad out again, and I'm just dabbing my and you want to dab when you do this. I'm dabbing just the edges straight up and down. You can see they're perfectly perpendicular to the ink pad. If I put that against something that's white, you can see that makes that panel pop. Do not drag your paper across your ink pad. These are foam pads, and you can actually tear your pad if you drag it. So you just want to tap, 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 tap all the way down the length of it. So I have this whole stack of pre-cut papers that I've gotten over a couple year period from card kits, and I'm trying to use them up. Because why did I keep them? Because I want to use them, but then I never pull them out. So I have this stack permanently sitting on my craft table, and I am actually going to make it a point to use them. So that blue piece, by the way, is cut down to, let me think, 3.5 by 5.5. My card base is 5.5 by 8.5. I scored and folded it at 4.25. And now I'm just going to glue these pieces together. And I'll have a little blue border along the right and left side of my card. And I kind of like this layout. I gravitate toward it sometimes, and I'll use it like a whole bunch of times, and then I'll get sick of it and start with a different layout, but I like the way this looks. I really just wanted a pop of blue on the card with that gray. I love a monochrome feel, especially for a masculine card. So I like that. So I'm just gluing this down. I use my glue tube because my hands are super sore, and that little glue tube is actually pretty fantastic with sore hands. It actually gets the glue out really easily, and I don't have too much glue coming out. And it does dry clear, which is nice, and matte, which is also nice. So I pulled off the sentiment that says "to a swell guy," and this is one of those that's got a solid background, and the letters are like carved into it, and on these kinds you want to just dab your ink pad on top of it. You don't want to smush the ink pad down because you don't want ink to squish into those little wells that make the letters. And see how perfectly that came out the first time I stamped it. Like, that is pretty fantastic. I did use my high polymer eraser to condition the stamps because I cannot find what I did with my stamp conditioner from Maker Forte. So I think it's probably in my Florida craft room, along with a couple other things I'm missing, like my black ink pad, my clear ink pad, and my magic wand tool, which I'm very upset about. So I just ordered a couple more things, but I wasn't able to get the black and clear ink pads. So hopefully those will restock quick enough. So this is the Vegas Strip Crown Jewel Gems. I'm not sure if they still have those. And yes, I am going to place one of those over that big blob of ink I got at the edge of that one bow tie. And I'm just going to cover that up. It'll make me feel better about the whole card. And I used 7 of these here. I like odd numbers. I think I'm a little odd myself. That's probably why I like odd numbers. And I am going to eventually take a white gel pen and go over the stars in that bow tie that's right above the sentiment. But I love this layout. And I think that was a quick and easy card to make. I like the way it turned out. I think that it's a super fun card. My husband will probably get that on Father's Day, and I'll put all the links to everything below. I would love it if you're not subscribed, if you could subscribe to my channel and click that bell to get notifications every time I upload a new video, and give this video a thumbs up. Friends, have a wonderful day.